If I could recommend anything for anybody that's wanting to play rogue and kind of get more into like the itemization element of the game, try to shoot for like 41 agi plus and try to shoot for 15 plus strength. You'll notice that your life is a little bit easier. Also try to shoot for like a 27, 28 plus weapon. If you're going to look at any sort of affix prioritizations, you're going to want weapon damage, all attributes, strength. Then it's kind of a toss-up after that. True physical damage can be good as well. More agility has its perks, but definitely I would say it in that order. When it comes to the helm, I'm a really big fan of shadow masks. And kind of the reason I am is because it doesn't have a reduction in movement speed. So, and it also has one all attributes. One all attributes is incredibly strong. Now, the other thing is when we talk about like perks and skills and all of that jazz, there's definitely a bit of a, bit of a variety. Rogue has a really good perk package. So in the beginning, I run Rupture. So if you're a brand new level 1, I would probably, with like starter gear, I would probably recommend running Rupture. Rupture is pretty good, but it starts to fall off later on when you get some better gear. Obviously, Hide, it's a pretty big staple, unless you're with a trio team and maybe you got a bard that's popping some invis for you. Some people run Weak Point and Rupture. I'm not a really big fan of it. If you really want to be kind of, like maybe you're doing solos and trios and you want to be a little bit more evasive rather than going for kills and just going for loot, Hide and Smoke Pot is not a bad option. Smoke Pot gives a movement reduction of 20%. And it also creates a bit of chaos depending on where it goes. So I've used it to actually escape. I'll like go to a rune, pop a smoke pot, be able to get out, that type of thing. But staple for me, it's going to be Weak Point and Hide. Those are the two that we're going for. When we're talking about the actual perks, what should I go first? What should I go second? Again, that's going to be kind of a personal preference thing. Depends on your goals and what you want to go ahead and do. In my opinion, I do a lot of solo gameplay and I do it in a trio lobby, so against, 3 teams and whatnot. I don't want to be heard, seen, anything like that. I need to get the jump if I'm going to, or I just need to slip by them undetected. Not a lot of people will run creep. I think it's slept on. I think in a solo environment, maybe not a team environment. If you're in a team environment, creep, I mean, you got your other buddies that are making a lot of noise, but honestly, creep is even good in a trio environment with a 3 stack because you can kind of go ahead and scout. And so like if they're clearing out a room, you can kind of scout one hallway or something like that and try to see if you hear anything, see anything. You can also position yourself in behind. A lot of the times when a team fight is happening, maybe the 2 people bait the team down a hallway, you slip behind them, boom, hit their back line, healer, bard, something like that, right? Ranger, etc. Those are your targets that you really want to go after. Cleric. Honestly, your 4 top prios are going to be, not in this order, but just in general, Ranger, Bard, Cleric, and Wizard. And probably a Warlock if the opportunity shows itself, but I would say that those 4 need to go down really fast. I tend to prio a Bard because Bards are insane. And they give crazy group buffs. So if you can dump that really fast, or maybe a Wizard if it looks like they're going to do a lot of damage. But regardless, I really like Creep. The other one is Stealth. Stealth is incredibly strong for the Rogue. When you go into Hide, that 10 steps while you're in Hide, you can position yourself even without Creep. Sometimes when people are running around and there's casts going out, there's so much noise, people won't really hear you anyways. So you can position those 10 steps to get into their backline from stealth, and then boom, hit something. Thrust, S tier. S tier perk. I really think that this is a bread and butter perk. It adds a tremendous amount of value. It does 15% to the physical damage reduction pool. Ambush, in my opinion, is also S tier. And the reason is that it does 50% additional weapon damage when you break stealth. So why is that significant? Well, one of 3 reasons. 1, it works with your Hide. 2, it works with an invis pot. 3, it works with the Bard's invis. So you can get a lot of applications for this. There's a lot of the times in the solo, as you guys might have been watching, I'll do a Hide, I'll jump on one of them, and then as I'm running away from the other 2, I'll whip out an invis potion into my belt, jump around a corner, pop it, and then as they come around the corner, boom, I have ambush again to go. So that's what I like to do. But ambush is incredibly strong. There's definitely other perks that are powerful. Jokester is incredibly powerful. Do not sleep on it. 2 all attributes. It's not super wide in terms of range. You have to be kind of intimate to your team players, but honestly, 2 all attributes is insanely strong. The other thing that I do sometimes, if I'm not looking for any kills at all, and I don't care, sometimes I'll drop thrust and ambush, and I'll go like pickpocketing and lock picking. So we'll hit all the chests. We'll just try to, you know, skeet around and don't be heard, don't be seen, that type of thing, and just get as much wealth and then get out of there if I'm not looking for any sort of PvP. And Jokester does work if you're by yourself. Yes, it works on you as a buff and then gives an aura to others, and it's non-stackable. So if you run with 2-3 rogues, it's not going to stack. It's only 1 and 1 only. Poison weapon really isn't that crazy since the magic nerf to rogues. There used to be a build in one of the playtests where you could stack rupture and poison weapon, and you could stack magic damage, and essentially it would create a higher tick, but it got nerfed by about 50%, so it's pretty tough to run nowadays. But yeah, I would probably say, you know, double jump. Some people really love double jump. Personally, I don't think double jump needs to be in the game. I don't use it. I think that it's kind of crutch-esque. You know, you don't really learn the mobs and how to dodge them and how to move and navigate. You just double jump all the time, and I don't know. It's like, it is what it is. If you like it, run it. If you don't, then you don't. But those are kind of what I run. Obviously, Dagger Mastery can be used from time to time. Back attack is incredibly strong, but it's so situational that the uptime on it might not be as much as you want. So that's something to factor in when you're thinking about that stuff. So that's the general breakdown of how I see rogues and how I like to play them. And again, for that stat prio, you're going to want weapon damage anytime you see it, all attributes anytime you see it. And then after that, you're probably looking at strength, because strength gives you attack power as well as HP. And then after that, it's kind of subjective. You know, move speed is a byproduct of agility. I don't really look for move speed. Obviously, I like light foot boots. I think light foot boots are the go-to play for a rogue. And you have options for the loose trousers, or you can go something like the heavy leather leggings with the 1 strength base. And then just like your jewelry. Jewelry is a... Man, you can get some crazy stats on a jewelry that really add to your whole kit, but they get pretty expensive. If you're looking for something that's super cheap, so like let's say you just want like a basic kit, you want to just go out there and try to go rags to riches style, this is what I do. And this is what I recommend to start off on when you're playing. Something that could be said, again, daggers are for more PvP. You can use them for PvE, but sometimes some of the mobs are a little bit of a bitch to hit them with the daggers. So you could go a rapier, and that's more for the PvE side. So you have kind of 2 purposes there. But into the actual rags to riches style, what I like to do is if I've died and I don't really want to buy out a kit, this is what I'll do. I'll go to the leathersmith, and I'll either buy the 1 agi or the 1 strength glove, depending on what I want. I'd probably say the strength over the agi if it's available. The other thing is I just buy boots. So if there is Lightfoot boots, sometimes it is every 30 minutes. If you didn't know, the shops update every 30 minutes starting at the top of the hour. So that goes for your restocks on your meds as well, something to keep in mind. That's why I always keep a little bit of an inventory as well in my stash, because sometimes you might just have a bad run and you die 2-3 times in a row. That way you have some meds and you can kind of outfit. I normally run 4 and 4 if I'm going really lean, 4 HP pots, 4 bandos, and you know, anything else that you feel like running. If I'm running a bigger kit, I'll run like surgical kit, and I'll run a few more meds just to be safe, because again, I do a lot of solo. But sorry, back to the rags of riches. So you're going to want to buy a pair of boots, whatever the cheapest one is. You're going to want to buy the strength or the agi. Now, Marauder outfit, I am wearing a green 2 all attributes, but sometimes you'll find a gray one in here. If you see a Marauder outfit, I'll buy one. And then for the pants, what I like to do is if they have a heavy leather pants, I'll buy it here. If not, you can go to the tailor, and there's a really cheap 1 agi pants that you can buy. So I would buy that. And then from there, you can check your weapons. And if they have something like a rapier, you can go ahead and buy that. Now, obviously, this one is 91 gold, but I think the gray one is about 8 gold. So go ahead, and that's what I would do. So hopefully that helps. Why do I never extinguish torches? I'm waiting for someone. You had to guess, Chris. Why would I do that? You're on the right track, Chris. Good guess. The reason why I don't always turn off torches, think of torches like this as a rogue, okay? I think a lot of people go about it wrong in the beginning and then they start to adapt. But think about torches like this. I don't want to turn off torches to put myself in dark all the time. I want to turn off torches to make the other player think something. Does that make sense? So if you turn off an entire room of torches, anybody that knows where the light is flags are going to go off. If you turn off one torch in a corner, they're probably going to take a poke at that corner. They're going to take random attacks, maybe throw a torch. Maybe the bard. Bards are a big infractor of this. Maybe the bard will just all of a sudden start doing his AoE damage drums or his flute damage or something like that. And it actually pulls you out and does the net opposite. So if you're going to turn off torches, yes, you can use them as like, you know, you can turn off one here or there. But if I turn off one in a room, I'm almost going to turn off another one in an opposite corner of that room. To almost make a bit of a question to be like, oh, they could be here, could be there. Picks me a little bit. Maybe they separate. Maybe I get a jump on one of them versus all three just funneling in onto this one corner that's dark or something like that. But when I'm turning off torches, I'm trying to manipulate what their thoughts are going to be. I want to essentially turn off torches in a way where I almost make them think something, but I'm actually somewhere else. So something that I might do is like, if I'm in a room, this is another MS Paint opportunity. So like, let's say you got a room like this, okay? So you got a door. There's a door right there. Say the door right there. Okay. So all these openings, these are doors. Okay. Let's say there's a light here. There's a light here. There's a light here. There's a light here. So let's say that I notice that there's guys here or something. Maybe I want to set up a gank in this room. I'm going to turn off this light right here. So this light goes off. And let's say there was a chest. There was a chest right here. Something like that. I'll leave that chest closed. Or sometimes I won't even turn off that light. Sometimes I'll open up the chest and then I'll close it again. And I'll leave all the lights on and not touch them at all. And bait them in so they let their guard down. They don't think anything's there. Oh, chest is not looted. Lights are on. Perfect. I'm going to waltz in. Two of them start fucking running out here and one of them lags here. And then I come in and I go yoink. And then I run out that door. Or maybe I turn off the one. The chest is right there. These two guys go, okay, maybe something right here. They go there. The third is like chilling right here. And I come out here and I go yoink. So I'm turning off torches to try to bait them into what I want them to do rather than like, oh, I'm right here, so I'm going to turn off this torch. Not going to do it that way. I want to make them think something.